Welcome to CourtSide, where we sit on the sideline and we discuss sports as if we can do it better ourselves. I'm your host, Mr. 300. You guys know my host, the Bay to LA. We back in the building for another show, man. How you feeling today, man?
Oh, man, I'm feeling wonderful, man. I'm excited, man. Ready to get off into it today. How you living?
Man, I'm feeling excited as well, man. You know, I'm always happy to come on and talk about sports, man, and bring some great insight. Have we that insight to the people as far as when it comes to basketball, especially when it comes to my Lakers, man. You know.
Oh yeah, I can't wait, man.
I know you can't wait, man.
I can't wait. I got up early for this one.
But Bronny been showing out, man. He been doing this thing. But we're going to get to the Lakers a little bit later on in the show, man. Before we get started, man, any shout-outs you want to give out to anybody?
Oh, man, just shout out to everybody who's supporting the channel, man. Reposting, you know, that like, share, subscribe. You know, we got that going on. And, you know, it's really encouraging for us to come out, you know, keep bringing this content, man. And then really just shout out to you, man, as far as, you know, your efforts for the youth of Sinlaw, man, and putting them on. They need that spotlight because we got a lot of talented folks out here, man.
I appreciate that, man. Yes, man. And if you guys don't know what he's talking about our new segment where we do our athlete of the week, man. First athlete of the week was great. She did a great job, man. She came on the show. She enjoyed herself, man. And she's going to be a great talent on the college level, man. But, man, let's jump into the show, man.
Let's do it.
Man, first off, man, let's talk about our very own Louisiana New Orleans Pelicans, man. We're going to talk about Zion Williams, man. Right now, he's averaging 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. The Pelicans aren't having that great of a season due to injury. Going into the season, everybody was pretty much high on them, saying the talent they had surrounding that team should have gotten them into playoffs. But the injury bug kicked in. Zion has come back, and he's playing lights off. My question is, do you think he's auditioning for other teams right now, or is he getting ready for next season with the New Orleans Pelicans?
As far as auditioning for other teams, I don't know. You know, I think it really depends on, you know, how serious the city of New Orleans is about their basketball superstars, man. I'm looking at him as far as like the body transformation, like he looking good. I'm like, good. I don't know what. Something is different because he looks totally different. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's moving a lot smoother out there. I think this is the Zion that everyone was expecting to see. Yes. I think the other part as far as just keeping him, I think other teams are always going to be leery because of his track record. I think, you know, the Pelicans can solidify him if they want to, just like they could have, you know, any of the other superstars that they had. So I'm interested in how it's going to play out as far as him auditioning. I think this is like personal for him. Personal, gotcha. Like proving it to himself other than other teams.
You know what? I didn't think about it being personal. Yeah. In that way you just put it, because you're right, man. Going into high school, going into college, he always been super athletic and got to the league. Yeah. The expectation that was put on him, he hadn't lived up to them. So you're right. It could be personal for him as far as I'm going to show them why I went overall number one, all the hype, all the endorsement, all the money. Because he signed an extension, I think, last year with them in the summer, the 5-year deal. So I think it could be personal as well. But also, I do think it's personal, like you just said. But also, I think he's auditioning. I think if teams do come calling, I think it's a chance that he could leave this summer if it doesn't get back right. All right, there's talent around him as far as Murray and all these other players who went down hurt. Granted, he's still on a contract with the Pelicans, but I think he's putting pressure on other teams to come calling for him, like the Knicks, like my Lakers, like maybe Miami, like teams who can use him in bigger markets, which I think he might want to be in a bigger market as far as those endorsement deals, because like we say, New Orleans itself doesn't put a whole lot on the basketball team as far as this is our team. Football, they all in. It don't matter. We can be 2-10. Okay, they're gonna pack out the Superdome, and tickets still gonna be sky high. Pelicans right now, those tickets are going for cheap, but I do think it could be personal, but also I think he's auditioning for those other teams. I think he's putting pressure on those bigger teams to come calling for him and offer a trade packet that the Pelicans cannot refuse. That's why I'm at with it.
Well, I mean, just from the standpoint of the team, I don't see how, like, as far as the pressure would be on the team, because as long as he's been with the team, he haven't looked like he been looking now. It wasn't about if you can play or not. We know you can play, but can you stay healthy? Can you stay healthy enough to play? And part of that is like your regimen. Like, you know, you're a professional ball player, you know, and you're not staying healthy enough to be out here on this team when we've had rosters who could compete. So now that the roster ain't one where we compete, you know, can compete with in the West. Okay, is it our fault as an organization? You know, like, okay, well, the talent is gone, but the talent was here when you were trying to get yourself together. Or not get it together.
And you're right. And like I say, and the talent is still there because they went and got some players this summer. It's just everybody's been hurt. And like I say, and I'm leaning more towards the auditioning part because, and it could be him just being excited that he's at a weight to where he can get out here and perform at a high level.
And dominate.
So to me, I'm looking at it both ways. So I would like for him to stay in New Orleans and play and build something. But again, you about to hit that 7-year mark. So it's like, do you continue to stay here and the injury bug keeps happening team-wise? Or do you maximize where you're at right now and go test the waters and go get on a contending team? Because like I say, right now, Pelicans, next year, we don't know how these players come back off an injury are going to look because Murray tore his Achilles. So it's like now I have to come back from Achilles tear, so that changes my game. So now do I want to sit around and wait to see how that plays out? Because then you're looking at like Anthony Davis. When Anthony Davis left, we had the number 1 pick and we got Zion. So if Davis would have stayed, you know, his career wouldn't be what it is now. I think he stayed out. So now Zion has to start to think about going into the summertime. So that's why I say maybe it's excitement. Maybe he's happy he's out here performing at a high level that he always knew he could. Right. Or maybe it is I'm doing that and I'm also auditioning. And I'm going to put pressure on these big name market teams to start calling and asking for me and offering that trade packet that most teams can't refuse.
Yeah, but where would the trade packet? Where does it
I don't
start
know.
at?
I don't know where it starts. I don't know if it start with draft picks or does it start with money being released? Because again, he signed that deal, so he signed the I think it was a Supermax deal he signed, so he was eligible for that. So we can get off that money and go get some other players. So like I say, it's a lot of scenarios that can happen. Me personally, I just hope he's just doing it, getting ready for next season and showing that, hey, he can be that dominant player, franchise players in New Orleans. But we'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it play out.
We'll see how it play out, man. All right, man, let's transition to the Clippers, man. We know the Clippers are right now, they're sitting, 8 right now?
Yeah.
They're sitting number 8 in the West. Do you think the Clippers are still a threat, even though they're in the AC? Granted, you have James Harden, you have Kawhi Leonard. Ben Simmons is over there now. You still have Ty Lue as the head coach. Do you still see the Clippers as a threat going into the playoffs, or if they make the playoffs?
Yes.
Why is that?
They got James Harden. They got Kawhi.
All right. So
that's dangerous. I think they're a threat in the playoffs. They're never as far as Harden, he's never a threat to win it, win it all. But make it, put some pressure on you in a series for sure. Kawhi, he different.
Yeah.
Depending on,
But is he really different though?
Kawhi is engaged, healthy, locked in Kawhi.
Yeah.
He an animal, man. Like, it could get ugly.
I'm saying
I hope it don't.
I get it, but I'm not that high. I never been that high on Kawhi. Like I said, I'm not saying what he's done in the past, but if you look at him with the Spurs, like you had a Tim Duncan, you had a Manu, you had a Tony Parker, so it was kind of like that Durant in Golden State. Like you had everything around you. Granted, you was the new kid on the block.
Right.
But you had all those pieces around you to go win. Now, granted, you went to Toronto and you had that one magical season. But prior to that, you had all those pieces around you that made your game a whole lot easier. And granted, and it did set him up for Toronto, but you never really got back there. Like he maximized that one championship in Toronto with the endorsement deal with New Balance. You signed that big deal. Like I say, you put your name on the map. So you did what you was supposed to do. Right. With winning that championship, but after that, nothing.
I mean, aside from injuries, You know,
that too.
When listen, he's extraordinarily strong. Bro.
Yes, I give him all that.
You know, he a defensive stopper for real. When he get hot and he get in his bag, it ain't all extra complicated what he do.
What he doing, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just fundamentally sound.
His mid-range and all that. You know, he's a real cerebral player. He a problem. The league know it when they talk about him. Like it ain't. It ain't. You know, they not saying, "Hey man, you just need to retire." Like he's somebody that healthy and engaged.
Yeah.
You don't want him playing your team,
okay,
man. So it could go a different way for you quick.
Why does Kawhi get a pass and Paul George don't get a pass? Because
of heart.
If we talk about injuries, Paul George. To me, Paul George came back from severe injuries than Kawhi has. When we talking about breaking the leg in half, and trying to come back and play like Paul George doesn't get that pass that Kawhi gets. Now, is it because of the championships?
No, it's because of heart.
Because of what? Because
heart.
Of heart. So what you mean heart?
Well, the way in which you go out there and play basketball. Paul George, as far as his bag, Paul George bag,
I would say
on
better.
The court is better. It's better than Kawhi.
Yeah.
But what Kawhi got and how he use it, I'm gonna take Kawhi.
All right, but I see your point. But I'm just saying, if we gonna throw that injury thing out there, and we talking about what the injuries is why he hadn't really gotten back to the pinnacle, then we can say the same about Paul George because before the injuries, Paul George was a force to be reckoned with in Indiana. He was that guy.
He wasn't gonna finish you though. He really nice.
But they had a chance to almost finish Miami though. But I'm saying if Kawhi would have ran up on, which they ran up on the Miami team when he played with the Spurs, and they got knocked off. But then they also beat him in the finals. But the next year, but again, you had Tim, you had Manu. You had Tony Parker,
right?
You had Danny Granger. You had not Danny Granger, but what's the Green, wasn't it?
Man, I was finna say not Jermaine O'Neal, huh? That's too old. I didn't went back too far.
I'm talking about when Kawhi with the Spurs. Danny Green, that's his name. The one with Green. So you had those players on the team. So to me, I feel like we're giving Kawhi this pass because of the injuries. And you say heart, I do give him the hard part, but you're talking about a Clipper organization that's been holding on to him. And he hadn't really played a whole lot of games or whatever.
They won't let him go.
And they won't, but I'm like, you had Paul George.
I'm telling you why.
You say because of the heart, and I get that. But I'm saying, but you had Paul George and Kawhi both there. Both of them injury played the whole time they've been there. But you get off Paul George, but you won't get off Kawhi. And we talk about Hart. Hart ain't finna win no championship sitting on the bench.
Right.
We need you to be productive and out here playing. This is why James Harden come out here. So it's like, if you can get one to pass, you might well keep both of them out there. Because even this year, Kawhi's been injury plagued. So it's like this is going to be him the rest of his career, along with Paul George. But we keep giving Kawhi this pass.
Okay, so Paul George ain't playing for the team no more, right?
Nah,
he ran off in the East, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know why?
Why is that? Because of the heart, huh?
Come on, man.
And I get that part.
Come on, he ran out East, and then he got out East, and what he did, it just came out again. That's all.
The same thing happened. I get the heart. I get that. I get all that. But if I got Hart sitting on the bench, how is that helping the team?
This is what I'm saying. You got a Kawhi Leonard who playing now.
Yeah. And if he get healthy and he get hot,
I know I don't want my Warriors facing them early
in the play, and I get all that, but
I'd rather not.
But all these are what if. So what if he go down again? So what if this happened in the playoffs? So
that's any player.
It is any player, but this one is injury prone. So just gonna
way he plays.
We gonna keep pulling from the old Kawhi. So why we can't pull again from the old Paul? But again, we gonna keep saying the hard thing, which I get that. But if we can't pull from one, we can't pull from another one.
I got you.
So that's how I see it. But again, like I say, it could go into his character, who he is as an individual. Like maybe he's not that leader that they need and want in the locker room. It's a lot goes into, which I get all that. But I'm looking at Kawhi right now, and And in my mind, granted, I'm not as high on him as I am other players like most people. If he get healthy, if he get in a play, it is a threat. You know what I'm saying? He can get on the streak. Harden can always go in his bag and do what he does. But it's going to be a tall task for them to do it. Could it be done? Yes. With a veteran team like that and with a veteran mindset like Kawhi has, they can do it. Yeah. But a lot has to go their way in order to do it. Now, I grant OKC may not want to see them in the first round. Denver may not want to be able to see them. Like I said, the Warriors may not want to see them in the first round. I don't want to see them, period. But like I say, if they get in the playoffs, they can still be a threat. Right. I will give them that. But if we'll get one a pass, we got to get the other one a pass.
No, we can't do that, brother. We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
Man, firm, fair, consistent, man. We got to across the board. But I'm with you, man. All right, man. So while we still in the West right now, let's talk about this MVP race that's been going on. It's been going back and forth between Shai Gilgeous and Jokic. In your opinion, which one you taking? Shai or Jokic? You're not gonna give me one.
Out of the two.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna say Shai.
Shai? Why Shai?
One, the record. You know, like your record is your record, man.
Record is your record, yeah.
He has a lot of unproven talent and playoff wise. I'm not talking about during the season because they got they got that record out west. They got a young core of people, that's out there playing, and he doing his numbers. It's looking good. Really everybody just waiting on the playoffs for them, man. So when you in that top spot, it kind of just go with it.
Man.
You don't have a track record of, consistently. I mean, last year was a very good year as well. But I'm talking about like in the last 5 years. Yeah. And he is an integral part of the reason why that team has been the top this year. You know what I'm saying? And toward the top last year. So he deserving of it, man. And so that's about it. I'm not really excited about it, but I'm just saying.
And that's what I'm about to get off into because the excitement is not there because we're talking about two teams who OKC hadn't done anything in the playoffs, hadn't won any championships. Granted, Denver has won a championship in the last 3 years, and we're talking about a player who's has already 2 league MVPs already. So it's like now, I think the league. To me, the MVP now is like an expansion. We're trying to reach other parts of the world by pulling players from Canada, Jokic, like from wherever he's from. Like I think we're reaching as a league to try to pull in new audiences because in the past when we talking about MVPs, these came from players who was winning championships in the year before. They hadn't mentioned Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown as far as the MVP talks. Like Luka hadn't been thrown in there. LeBron really hadn't been thrown in there. Let me see who else that's been doing that thing. Donovan Mitchell with the Cleveland Cavaliers, he hadn't really been thrown into the conversation. I just feel like the league now we're reaching when it comes to these MVP candidates, and like Shai he's doing his thing. I'm not taking nothing away from you. Number one in the West, but overall you hadn't really proven anything outside the regular season. When we're talking about MVP, granted we're talking about the best player in the league for that year, but it goes deeper than that. When we talk about the MVP, we talking about in the past when Jordan them used to win it, man, we talking about the faces of the league was winning. When LeBron was winning it, when Kobe was winning it, right. These were players who were deemed the faces of the league during that time. Shai Gilgeous is not the face of the NBA. Jokic is not the face of the NBA. I feel like we're trying to expand our reach as far as the league is concerned. Tap into those audience that's not really watching the game of basketball. To me, this is a marketing ploy to draw in a new audience and get more money, more TV time. This is all this is, man. And like I say, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, man. I'm not taking anything away from those two players. They're great players. But when we talk about MVP, man, no kids are running around here talking about I want to be like Shea Gillis. No kids are running around here talking about I want to be like Jokic. They try to do it with Giannis. Nobody's running around here talking about I want a Giannis jersey. Nobody's running around here with a Shea Gillis jersey. Nobody's running around here with a Jokic jersey. How many commercials you seen those two guys on?
Man, I don't know.
None. That's what I'm saying. When we talk about Jordan, when we talk about Magic, when we talk about Kareem, we talk about LeBron, we talk about Kobe, we talk about Iverson. Those players were cultural icons when it came to the NBA and outside the game. Okay. Those were transitional players who expanded the game to reach just by who they were as players on the court and off the court. Shea and Jokic ain't doing none of that.
Okay, so listen, I got what you saying.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest with you. If my team is number one in the West.
Yes.
It's going to be hard for you to tell me, listen, we ain't just did this 1 year. I done ran it back as far as having great records throughout, you know what I'm saying, the season with my team.
Yes.
I done did this consistently now going on 2 years. If we talk about preference, I feel like Donovan Mitchell would be a better.
Yes, would be a better.
But I'm just talking about my personal preference.
Yes. I'm with you on that too. Yeah.
And when I say that, I'm admitting there's a little bias.
And it could, yes, it is.
There's a little bias with that. To say that, again, SGA, Jokic, not really my type of, you know what I'm saying, ball player. Yeah. You know, it's cool and all, but I don't prefer that. But I can still say, hey, with your record and what you done, you are deserving. And I can't really,
I give him
it might not be what I want, but this is what I'm saying. Who do you have above SGA, and how can you defend that?
And like I said, if we talk about just strictly numbers and records, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I think, like I say, and that's what they going off of, cool.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is this, but they've been trying this formula for a few years now. And to me, it's not working. I'm saying the NBA has tried to put other players ahead of who it should be. Well, because of
it's time for LeBron to sit down then.
I'm not even talking about LeBron.
Well, it's time for all the old ones to sit down then.
But what about your Jaylen Browns, your Jason Tatums? Like those, man, Boston has been at the top.
They tried to make Jason Tatum that, man.
Man,
why don't you talk about that?
They ain't trying hard enough. Like I'm saying, and I'm not even a Jason Tatum.
They wasn't trying to prop him up. Now they propped him up.
Like they might have, but even with I'm saying league wise,
and the people say we don't want it.
Like Jaylen Brown, like I say, to me,
they never propped Jaylen Brown up.
Why is that?
They gave him the Kyrie treatment.
Yes,
they did.
But like those players, to me, those are hoopers. He's a baller.
Right.
Like I will put him ahead of Shea Gillis when we talking about going out there and getting the bucket.
Right.
I'm going to Jaylen Brown. Like to me, when we talking about fearless, we talking about getting to the basket, getting your shot. Now Shea can do all that as well. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to Jaylen Brown.
I'm with you, but they not that. You know, he too much of a rebel, man. They don't want that.
Why? Because he thinks for himself?
Independent thinker.
Yes, and they don't like that.
You know?
And to me, but again, and that's what it goes back to, like I say, this formula that they have been pushing is not working, man.
They don't want an independent thinker and they don't want an ignorant thinker, but I'm not gonna say who that is. I'm gonna just keep that.
So who's
the
ignorant thinker?
I don't who knows? I'm just saying, you know.
I'm with you, man, and that's why I say Shea, Jokic, I'm not taking anything away from it for their game wise. But when we talk about MVP, man, league MVPs, those usually were the people who were the faces of the league during that time.
But it ain't no face.
That's what I'm saying. So there is a face of the league, but they don't want, like I say, people, like I say, as a whole, people are getting tired of the LeBron thing. Like I say, it is weighing on a lot of people. But again, no one is stepping up and taking that from him.
Not when you got LeBron trying to sabotage the youth, man.
Trying to
trick them out of their position,
what
man.
What you talking about, man?
Yeah, man, you don't need to be doing all that. They be all in your business and stuff, and it ain't worth it the whole time scheming.
What you talking about, man? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Man. Let's talk about
it. Ain't that what he told Ant?
What he told Ant? He didn't tell Ant that, man.
Yeah, he did.
What he told Ant?
Man, he told Ant sitting up there, yeah, you know, they be in the people business and all this. Hold on, man, you done ran with this face of the league for umpteen years, over 2 decades going on, and then you want to tell the young incumbent dude he don't need it, and it's a hassle. He's wrong for that, man.
He's not telling him that he don't need it.
That is what he told him.
What he's saying is, in a nice way, to be the face of the league, that stuff you doing, I can't say what I want to say. That stuff you doing, you got to clean that up. That's what he was telling him. Like, what you're doing right now, when you become the face of the league, you can't do that. So maybe you don't need it.
And see, Ant, you know, you can't talk to him like that because he's going to say, what you mean? You mean what we doing? What you mean what I'm doing?
What we did over there? I know, but that's
ain't that what they said in the record?
That's
watch it now.
But that's what I'm saying. LeBron is telling him the stuff you're doing.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to continue to do that if you're the face of the league. So maybe you do not want this responsibility because this is what comes with it. Like, isolation is not for everybody. Like, you have to really isolate yourself from everyone when you get to that level as far as the face of the league, because everything you do is under the microscope. You think LeBron just be out here rolling? I'm out here in the club. No. I'm here. I'm there. No. Like, he can't do it. And that's what he's telling Ant-Man. Like, if you still want to do what you want to do at your young age, when I was your age
that's
at one point.
That's how you tell him that?
Yeah. And he probably didn't told him in private. Like, to me.
You get on the national stage and talk like that, man.
Man, he didn't talk to Ant in private about this already, man.
Nah, he wrong for that, bro. There's certain conversations.
He just said it in a nice way.
No, it wasn't nice.
He just said if
don't worry about it, man. You don't need it. I'm looking like, what?
Because the responsibility of it is different. Being the face of the league is not just being, like I said before, it's been an ambassador for the game of basketball. And again, no one has stepped up to take on that role from LeBron James. Now,
one they wanted to have it.
Who's that?
LeBron gonna get in his ear talking about, man, you don't need all that, man.
Ant don't want it, man.
You ain't gonna be able to hit the club like you want to. Ant don't yet on.
Because he know what Ant doing.
What Ant doing. I don't know why we keep saying what Ant doing.
Yes, man. What Ant is doing, man. What Ant is doing.
Hey. Don't go get that new Drake album then, man, because he's letting it be known.
Man, and Drake ain't said nothing else about that.
Right.
Man, hey,
well,
bro.
They let him know you got one more song and we're going to tighten you up in LA.
That's it.
It's over
crazy. With, man. You're not finna.
Man, people get hit by garbage trucks every day, man.
You seen the 5 heartbeats.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go down to the club tonight, listen to some
Eleanor.
If you every day. So all right, man. So why we talking about the Lakers, man? Man, people getting hit by garbage trucks, man, and the 5 heartbeats and Eleanor and Big Red. Because it's a Big Red in every city.
Eleanor, if you need anything.
If you ever all right, man. While we own the Lakers, man, my Lakers been hitting a little rough stretch. LeBron was out with the groin. He was out with the groin, but Bronny came in. He had the 17. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In the good game everybody has been talking about. Came in right on time, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about this little rush pass they've been on. LeBron came back the other night.
Yeah, he did.
And I know the groin, that's gonna be an injury. He gonna deal with the rest of the season, but he wasn't looking as vibrant as he was before. Do you think this is the groin injury, or do you think, hey?
Let me tell you something, man. I watched it. Man, your boy looked bad out there. He looked bad out there with the light knees and whatnot. He out there playing like he wanted it, man. He didn't want no parts of what they had going on out there. You hear me?
I'm coming back
he
from
was
the
looking
injury.
real timid. Listen, he needed to sit down somewhere. Listen, they whooped him out his socks that game. I was like, man, this is getting outrageous.
I'm coming off the groin injury,
man, and you're gonna be back on it if you keep. You need to. Hey,
what's up?
They
man?
Whooped hit. Llisten, they put hands and feet on them boys out there.
Man, you know what?
I was elated.
I was like, this is the most I done seen you excited.
Man, I'm up. I'm woke.
This is the most I done seen you excited.
This is what I'm saying. It looked bad out there. He wasn't committing on defense. I don't know what he thought he was doing with like I'm being what you call that? He was just out there like a decoy, if you will. I'm out here as a decoy. Man, who you fooling?
Man, look here,
we know you not finna shoot this, man. Go sit down.
All we got to do
He looking bad.
Look here, man. All we got to do is get in the playoffs. If we get that 3 seed, because we number 4 right now, what seed are y'all? 6?
Yeah.
If we play y'all, you already know what's going to happen.
Brother,
y'all,
let me tell you
y'all
something.
Too small for us. So
Who?
We get that 3 seed, y'all the 6, we going to play y'all in the first round. And that's going to go Lakers in 5. That's going to be in 5, my brother. Because y'all are too small. And nobody's going to be able to hold Luka.
Let me tell you something.
What's that?
This is what's going to happen.
What's that?
If y'all don't get right, you might be the 7th seed.
Brother, we good, man. We going to take that.
You saying that.
We going to go on
I
the list.
believe the Bulls going to whoop y'all head again.
Man, cut that out, man. The Bulls had a good game, man. And
a good game.
We get that 3 seed. Y'all stay in 6.
Why you keep saying 3 seed?
Because we were 2 games behind Denver, man. We going to get
You're finna lose your next 2.
Man, look here, man.
It's finna get crazy.
We going to go 3. Y'all going to go 6. We going to meet y'all in the first round. We going to beat y'all in 5. And then that's going to be it.
And 5.
And that's the reason why LeBron has friended Draymond. Because, like, and you know that Draymond don't play the same against LeBron no more. He's really been.
That's why we got Butler.
But, man, Butler can't hold LeBron, man.
Say what?
Butler's not going to be able to hold LeBron.
First of all, Dre don't hold LeBron. So what are you talking about?
Who going to guard him then?
We gonna put Kuminga out there, man.
Man, Kuminga gonna get done up, man.
Okay, well he get done up, man. We gonna put the young boys out there. Yeah, but we don't. Yeah, man, Draymond don't guard LeBron.
He was at one point, but I'm saying
he
was guarding AD because AD was AD gone now.
He guard centers and power forwards
LeBron
primarily, but
he gonna be more on LeBron. I would say because AD not there, and our Jackson Hayes, you're not gonna be able to keep up with them young legs, man.
Man, listen. We gonna see. It's gonna get crazy.
Yeah, Lakers in 5. And Steph Curry going back to the house, man. That's it.
Listen.
What's up?
The way that old man was moving around there, you better hope he can make it.
Man, he gonna make it, man. He gonna make it, man. Brother, he gonna make it. He gonna make it, and it's gonna be all right.
He was looking shifty.
Yeah, he was.
I was looking at that old man like, hey, man, sit down, bro. You ain't ready.
Man, it's 40 now, man. But Lakers in 5, we going 3, y'all going 6. All right, man, let's transition, man. We know we used to talk about basketball on the show, man. Yeah. But you know, it's the off season for the NFL. A lot of free agency moves have been going on this summer. It's been shaking the league. Jameis Winston has gone to the Giants. That's just one of the moves in the recent weeks. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about our teams, man. Let's talk about Let's talk about the New Orleans Saints first, man.
Okay, cool.
Since we in Louisiana, man, and New Orleans is a couple hours from us, man. Recently we signed back Brandon Cook, and we also gave our defensive end Chase Young a new deal as well. So he's there for the next 3 years. As far as bringing Brandon Cook back, in my opinion, I think he's a good veteran wide receiver that can kind of work with some of our younger receivers just to kind of get them on the same page. I think he can be a safety valve. I think he can be that third consistent option that we've been missing, that number 2 receiver that we've been missing, because we've been bringing in a lot of different receivers throughout the season with the injury bugs that we've been getting. So I like the Brandon Cook sign. I'm not saying he's going to go ahead and get 1,000 yards, but he still is a playmaker. And I think if we still have Derek Carr as our starting quarterback, you're not even a Saints fan. You're not even a Saints fan. And that look, that's the look that all fans get. But Spencer Rattler, if he can continue to improve in training camp, I think he has a chance to maybe edge him out. But we're paying Carr so much money, it's hard to put that on the bench. But I think with signing Brandon Cooks, I think it gives him another option to be more consistent in the passing game, man. And with Chase Young, he didn't get a lot of sacks this year, but his pressure and his presence did help some. So I do like the 2 signings that we did. It wasn't amazing signings, but I think it's a step in the right direction as far as building some veteran consistency inside that locker room and helping some of these young players out or whatever. But that's my take on it. What you think about those 2 signings?
I don't. Yeah, I don't think nothing about them signs, but no, on the real, I think y'all best signing was your coach. Yeah.
You think you like the coach? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, your coach. You got y'all coach is good. I think he's going to help that offense a lot and minimize the key to Derek Carr. Limit them throws, man.
Yeah.
Just limit them throws if you can. It ain't like he can't throw. But once you have him out there gunslinging, it's going to be crazy for you.
And it's like once we get in that red zone, it is over with. So
let the playmakers make plays.
So to me, that's a tight end. We got I think Jawan Johnson, I think we did sign him back, our tight end. So we just got to get more creative with him in that red zone. Because trying to give it to Kamara in the red zone, that's not going. That at this point in his career, that's not it. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to get him to pound it in. We need somebody coming in who can pound it in or whatever. Right. But as far as the red zone, to me that has always been our issue. We can get there.
Right.
It just once we get to that between that 20 and beyond, it's been hard for us to really make plays in the red zone and be consistent in the red zone. Granted, our receivers got hurt and stuff like that, but hopefully with the new head coach, with the offensive scheme that's been implemented, it would kind of help alleviate some of those issues that we've been having in the red zone. But to me, Derek Carr's not the guy. I always was like, when it was between him and Winston on who we should roll with, to me, my thing was it wasn't too much of a difference. I think Winston had better arm strength. I think Winston, to me, at that time, I don't think he had the leadership qualities. I say Carr probably had a better speaking voice, a better approach into the locker room than maybe Winston was during that time. But now, I said during that time, but Winston, I think now he has developed into that leader. But I think if Winston would have been that leader maybe in New Orleans, he was a great locker room guy.
Right.
But as far as rallying everybody around him, if he could have done that then the way he did in Cleveland, I think he's still there. But as far as talent-wise, arm-wise, Winston was the guy. But I think when we put them together and we look at the numbers, we look at the winning percentage during that time, it was between those two, it wasn't too much of a difference. Okay. But I still, personally, I was like Winston because Winston knew the players, knew the offense. Let's just roll with it. But we chose Carr, gave him that money, and we're worse than what we were before Winston.
It's a lot of money, man.
Yes, it is, man. But let's get into your 49ers, man. No, don't start coughing now, man.
Water around here.
Let's talk about your 49ers, man. Y'all done made some moves as well, man. Y'all done got rid of Debo.
Okay, and
Debo Samuel, man. Y'all done got rid of your switch arming knife, man. Y'all wanted him to be like Taysom Hill, man.
Let's go in, man.
Man.
So let's talk about the Niners, man. Yeah. Let's talk about my team. Let's talk about when you're unserious about winning. Right?
Why you say so?
Because I've had it. When you're unserious about winning, when you can put together one of the best talented rosters out there and consistently figure out how can we not finish this thing and do it right. At no time do we look at the coach and say it's time. It's him.
So you think it's Shanahan?
It's him.
So why you think he's still there then?
The owner.
So you think
he's listen, at the end of the day, if I can get people, if we make the playoffs, I'm still getting paid.
Yes.
We make the playoffs, we got a chance. Once we get in the playoffs, it could go either way. Okay, hey, we don't do it. No problem, guys. We'll try it again next year.
Yes.
This ain't good. We traded Debo. Fine. Fine, we traded Debo. I'm just trying to figure out when we trading Brock Purdy, let's trade him too.
I've been saying that about Brock Purdy, man.
Let's trade him too.
Y'all should have kept what the other guy y'all drafted?
Trey.
Yeah, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. But we ruined him.
Yeah, I'm saying to me,
now he getting ready. He got 1 foot out the league.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, I'm saying like to me that was the guy.
It's coaching.
So let's come back to trouble. We're talking about the coach. So how did Shanahan get in the league?
Being an offensive coordinator. Well, because his daddy, man.
So again, so that was cool though, for his daddy to bring him in.
No, when you look at it as far as him being an offensive coordinator, like he's good as an offensive coordinator. Yeah, he don't have no problem calling plays. But when it gets crunch time in games, the play calling of the overall game is where it gets weird.
Gotcha.
You know.
And I'm with you on that, but like I say, and you talking about Brock Purdy, to me, I've never been, because to me, you look at a Brock Purdy, that's no different than Alex Smith.
I'm gonna say this right here.
I'm a system quarterback.
Last year he showed he got more pocket awareness.
Yes.
He's quicker. He got quicker. But what we didn't have was,
I'm not a game changer though.
Well, yes, he's not a game changer. The players that we got playmakers, but our offensive line, we haven't addressed that.
Yeah.
We got the best left tackle in the game.
Yeah.
We refuse to get this man proper help on the line, which you need that line to be fortified.
Because you're saving the money for Purdy. That's what's going, man. Purdy is one of those, I'm gonna do whatever you ask me to do. I'm not gonna rock the boat.
It's not Purdy's fault. It's the team's fault.
But he's not speaking up because I'm waiting on my bag to drop.
Listen, when I'm Mr. Irrelevant, I'm the last man getting picked in the draft. I can't make noise
until I get my bag.
When I get my bag, then guess what?
It's up.
Something can change.
But that's what I'm saying. So to me, like when we talk about that leadership, and I think it starts there. Granted, I'm not getting the bag, so the bag should come regardless. Because, like I say, if he's my guy, he's been getting y'all to the playoffs. Like I say, he's a good quarterback.
Purdy wasn't his guy. You know who his guy? We picked up from the Patriots, man. I can't think of his name right now. But we just picked him up off the Patriots. He was a bust with the Patriots. That's who Shanahan wanted.
Yeah.
We got him now.
What's his name?
Look this up right quick while we talking. But yeah,
I don't know. You're not talking about I don't know. I don't know. But like I say, but to me, Purdy, I've never been a big Purdy fan. I never been high on him. To me, I always figure Trey Lance should have been the guy. Trey Lance got hurt. Purdy come in. And
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones was
That's
his
who
guy.
he wanted. He wanted Mac Jones.
To me, I would take Mac Jones over Purdy. Like as far as quarterback position, because playing with New England, you got to be a different type of player to play as far as quarterback position.
That's cool, but we got to do something with that line.
Yeah, with that line.
And this knucklehead we got here, coaching, what he gonna do is he gonna try to cut a corner. You know, he gonna try to start talking about the defensive end again and all type of other stuff. Like, hey man, our offensive line ain't right.
It ain't right.
We got one of the best tackles of all time.
Right
we
there.
Can't get this man no real help
on the other side.
This crazy.
So let's talk about y'all getting rid of Mason, the running back. Do you think that was a good move? Because, like I say,
I'd have traded McCaffrey too. Nah, man.
Because to me, I just feel like
I'm tired of that.
McCaffrey with the injuries, like you need a Mason in there because Mason was doing his thing. Like it's not like he was just out there just to be out there. But again, do you think McCaffrey had something to do with that?
No.
So
McCaffrey remind me of your boy.
Who? Kamara?
Yes. That that dancing around and he get in space. That's cool. Ain't no problem with that. But man, when we gotta win real games,
yes,
you not gonna be able to keep prancing around and dancing. Everything you're doing, you're trying to get to the sideline.
Yeah.
You don't want to run in between the tackles. That's a problem.
I'm saying. Well, you can look at McCaffrey. He's small.
Yes,
but again, you had Mason. Like you keep them two together because Mason was in between the tackles.
You had to pay him.
Yeah, you did have to pay him
because we've been stealing from you from so many years.
But again, I'm saving that bag for Purdy.
When you do that, you just show me as somebody who been pulling for the 49ers for so long that we not serious about winning.
No, we
That's
not.
all.
Man. But
when we do stuff like that,
I'm saying you trade Trey Lance, you get rid of Debo.
We ruined him. We ruined his career before we traded him.
Did. That is true. That is true. Mason is gone. Debo gone. To me, it's like you freeing up the money for Purdy. Which to me, that's not the guy. Never been the guy. I don't like. To me, y'all make the player. Y'all didn't make it this year, did it? No. And I think that might be going on. Y'all in the same boat with us, brother. But let's transition, man. Let's get off into Cincinnati real quick, man. They didn't sign Jamar Chase, one of the highest paid non-quarterback contracts in NFL history. They was able to sign T. Higgins as well. They have their quarterback in Joe Burrow. Granted, this season was an up and down season. Chase had a hell of a year as far as records and catches and touches and touchdowns and things like that. Do you think that was a good sign to keep that core group together, that receiving core together with their quarterback?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think it's a good, to keep them together. It was a great signing. But as far as winning anything significant, they getting their back kicked in, man. Yeah. So that when you do stuff like that, you cool with being a loser, bro.
Yes.
Because that ain't it.
That's I'm
gonna go out here and get this. The best tag team. Who was it? The Midnight Express, the Road Warrior, the Harlem Heat. Like, what y'all doing, man? It's crazy.
And I'm with you on
it's
that,
just
man.
for show,
it's
man.
just
like,
for show.
Okay, y'all can go out and
what they're gonna be looking like.
Still gonna lose.
Gonna be looking like the Saints in New Orleans when we was putting up 40, but we was giving up 45.
There it is.
Because
nobody sees this.
And nobody sees it. So they got to address that defense, and you let one of your leading tackler, your leading sack, get a go.
I didn't let him go here. We ain't had no more money. we done paid these dudes. Listen, and listen, trust and believe. Them two gonna act a fool.
Yes, they gonna cut up, man. Like I say, as far as the offense has always been elite. But again, it reminds me of the Saints offense when Breeze. We gonna damn near get you 50, but we gonna give up 55 in the process. So it's to me like that's the catch-22 with this. Now, if the defense can get hot and maybe do a little something,
it's over.
Maybe something can happen. We'll see. But to me, again, I look at it like this too, man. When you're dealing with them GMs and owners, man, you give T. Higgins his money to see what he do, because they had tagged him already for like 20-something million. So we was gonna give him this 20+ million anyway for this for this year, regardless. So we can still get off of him if it goes left after this year. So
they're gonna put fans in seats,
Yeah. So I feel like we had tagged him. The tag for this year was over 20-something million already. So let's just sign him long term. If it goes left this year, we can still get off him. So to me, this year the money was already going to be given up this year already. So we'll see how it goes. But Jamar Chase, he's going to be there. Joe Burrow's going to be. Joe, we're going to give you one more year to make something happen as far as
they put it up.
Yeah, they put it up, man. So I'm happy for them as far as getting their money because
for sure,
because it's hard to get a bag like that in the NFL.
Man, two of them.
So kudos to those brothers for putting in the hard work and standing on what they were standing on when it came down to far as their value in the league and what they feel like they was worth, putting themselves first, because other players say, hey, team, but y'all gonna get y'all bag. Burrow, you got your bag. So, and I'm glad he was an advocate for his players getting their bag as well. So kudos to that, man. All right, man. So we talked about the contracts, man. We talked about the 49ers, man. We talked about the Saints, man.
Yeah.
Touched on some basketball. We had a good show today, man.
Yes, indeed.
It was good, man. I see you got your...
Oh, man, those who know.
And those who don't, hey,
oh, man,
I guess you got to go find out, man.
No, man, it ain't nothing.
All right, man. You guys have been listening to CourtSide, where we sit on the sideline and we discuss sports as if we can do it better ourselves. I'm your host, Mr. 300. You guys know my co-host, the Bay to LA. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. See you guys on the next one.